You're listening to Nothing's Off the Table, the podcast where no subject is too taboo to discuss. Now, please welcome your hosts, Andy Barker and Drew Del Pree. What is up?
What's up, man? I didn't realize I was so close to the camera.
Oh, I didn't realize you were either.
I was a second ago. I had to back up.
Well, here we are, another Friday evening, another show, and guess who our guest is this evening?
Nobody.
Exactly, I had nobody. So
yeah, I'd be nervous there. I was like, wait, I didn't do any research.
No, I thought short little mix-up through nobody's fault. I thought we were not going to do a show tonight because you had other plans, and so I didn't reach out to anybody.
No, it's totally my fault. When he says nobody's fault, he's being polite. I thought I had an event tonight, and I sent a text to somebody saying, "Hey, I'm on my way," and they said, "Good luck, because that's next week." So
show up if you want, but you're gonna
right. They're like, "You're welcome to come," but the event's next week. And so anyway, I was like, "No, I'll see you next week." And then I texted Andy and I was like, "Hey, man, I screwed up. So maybe no show next week, or maybe Andy flies solo.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Maybe we'll do something early. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we could do that. We could do a pre-recorded show for that. But I'm trying to think. Next week is there's no real reason why I can't do one.
Yeah.
So
let me talk to you about something.
Yes.
I was on my way to a chief petty officer event, and I was thinking I cannot go to this event without a chief petty officer coin. So, what? Are you a coin guy?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not, but I enjoy the coins I have.
Let me rephrase that. I'm not one of these guys. I mean, I have a decent collection.
On a scale of 0 to bear.
Oh yeah, I don't exist.
Right.
Yeah. I can't keep up with him. I can't compete with Bear. No way.
No, I can't. Not his coin collect. It's like Scrooge's money bin in his office. Like you could swim in the coins.
Nothing against that. I just
no, but it was. I always thought like it was like Scrooge's money bin, man. The coins were everywhere. They were just like you could just dive in and go for a swim.
It's all mine. But anyway.
So anyway, I broke out the CPO coin. Now, there's been different things. I've heard different lore over the years, right? I don't care about how the CPO coin started. I care about the drinking rules. So, when this thing gets slapped down, it is my understanding that if nobody else has one, right? Or if if there's at least one person that doesn't have a coin, then they have to buy a round.
That was my general understanding
as
well.
And then you don't abuse them by slapping it every 20 fucking seconds.
Right.
Or at different bars, right? One time you get one guy a night, that's it. Unless some other guy shows up and you think he doesn't have one either, then you tell Rusty forgot his shit. Hey, go walk away.
Yeah. But I don't want to steal your thunder. Are you gonna go a little bit further with that? Or
no, go. Yeah, no.
So, the whole moniker of the challenge coin is you have somebody else that pulls out his coin and it's from maybe a senior unit or a senior officer that gave them, then they win that challenge. And now you're buying the drinks.
Oh, right. If I pull mine out and his is of a higher rank.
Right.
Okay. I'd heard that before. I have heard that before. And then, but the one time, I don't know, man. It was I want to say I think I got out of it when I pointed out I've never heard anyone cry for the Admiral when they were shot, but I have heard them cry for the Corpsman, and that was my coin. And I was like, seems to be a higher power than.
Right. I like it. I like it a lot. Wow. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, that's how I got out of it. They were like,
yeah, all right.
Nice to hear, right?
Yeah.
You had a prepared answer. Good to go.
No doubt. But it started with this, it was a special forces thing.
Okay.
And now, and I'm forgetting a lot of the history. It actually even goes further back than that, but I don't remember any of it. And I'm not going to bastardize the story by
they'll be honest like flies on shit.
Yeah. So I'm just going to I'll just leave it alone. But there's so much more to it. But why you bring it up?
Well, fishing for topics, but but I did come across no, I did, the reason I bring it up, right? Exactly, that was one, but the other
Well
thing was,
played.
excuse me, the other thing was I came across a coin and I put it in my armrest because I like it, and when it's in my drawer of coins, I sort of lose it. Like it takes me forever to find it.
Yeah.
And it was a really neat Fleet Activities Yokosuka coin. And that's what I'm gonna ask you about. Neat what I'm gonna ask you next, so you can start thinking of it while I describe this, is neat coins you've come across over your time. Some pretty cool coins or designs that you may have seen on them. But what I saw, what this coin was it was Command Fleet Activities Yokosuka, just very basic design, rising sun, over a mountain. And it might have been the Command Master Chief's coin. Um,
Of the base?
yeah, it might have been Marty's coin, I don't remember, but I'll have to look at it. But the back of it was magnetically attached, and it was a golf marker.
Oh, no kidding.
So, yeah, so the coin was pretty solid, and then you turn it over, and actually you just kinda pat it on your hand, and the back will drop right off. And it was a ball
Interesting.
marker for
That's
golf, and I thought it was a pretty cool coin. That was a pretty neat idea.
yeah, that's
Um,
innovative for sure.
yeah, and then when it's stuck on there, you can kinda turn the emblem,
Little fidget spinner, so
eh,
to speak, kinda, sorta. What up,
I
Murdog?
But, yeah, what's up, man? But, that was one of the neater coins I came across. What's one of the ones you've seen?
You know, Stan Kanashiro
Yeah.
had a pretty eclectic collection, and I'd go in there and I'd mess with them. But when I started, they've just gotten out of control, man. Let's just be honest, right? They went from coins to damn dinner plates, basically now.
Yeah, some
Y-
people have big ones, yeah.
Yeah, that you can eat a freaking 15-course meal off of, and to me, that's a little bit that's over the top, man. Put your ego back in check. You don't need a coin that damn big. Even if it's for the mess or whatever the case may be. But um, one of the cool. I'm trying to uh, look over at my collection now. One of the cooler ones actually is. In fact, you may have this one. I don't remember if it's a mess coin or not, but it's the old samurai helmet. And then
Or
I think
I
I
might.
think I think it's, I don't know if it's from the mess or from the hospital but anyway, it's a really cool coin. But one my favorite one that is really cool, and it's not over the top or extravagant, is the one Bear sent me, and that was from 1-3, because I did 2 tours with 1-3, um, but it's the hook, the Polynesian, weapon that they use in Moana, the one that the Rock used. His
Okay.
weapon, his hook thing. It's one of
Yeah.
those, but it's got the 1-3 emblem on it, and it's
Okay.
really it's really cool. It's probably one of my favorite ones.
Yeah. Alright, now, there's a debate, right? And, I'm more on the, size side, right? Like, this debate, do you like this or that is not in my wheelhouse. Do you like, regular size coins, which I would say are palm size, or these giant ones? I prefer palm size,
Yeah.
but on this next question, I don't have a dog in the hunt. Do you prefer, creative design or the traditional circular design? Because there are some traditionalists out there that only like the circular coin.
No, I I kind of have a little bit of an arts background myself, artistic wise, but so I appreciate branching out, coming up with the different designs. As long as,
Okay.
but I am kind of I will say I'm a lot like you are. Yeah, size matters.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it should still be able,
And I'm a fan of the smaller size.
right. I'm white, genetics.
Which
Anyway,
throwing it
uh,
out there.
just saying. Uh, I'm not a proud man, but yeah,
Right,
because I do like the tradition of how you present it to someone, and if it's
oh,
too
yeah,
big and too gaudy, you can't do that.
right.
And I
Right.
do, you know what? Some of these associations, the hospital corps is notorious for this crap, man. Let's do a bake sale at lunch and then selling
Oh,
a command coin or a CPOA coin or a first class petty officer coin, man. That- I don't want to buy one, man. That's kind of defeats the purpose of the coins, the
yeah, when I
original
was on the
meaning.
Constitution, every year they would release a new coin for the Chiefs mess, and that was their fundraiser. We just
Of,
every year
of
we design a
course.
coin,
Of course. Yeah.
and it sells.
Oh, yeah, they sell, but, you know, so does pussy,
When I became yeah,
you
when I
know?
became a chief and I used to have to sell that crap to visitors on the I would make it dude, I'll tell you what, man, I made it harder to vote. I mean, I'm just saying it was harder to get a coin than it was to vote when I was on
Right.
duty, man. You had to show proof you were a chief. Right.
But, that's kind of my, you
I didn't
horn
wanna sell
horn
it, that's why.
yourself out for,
Yeah.
so how many of our, this is a great topic. How many of our traditions have gone by the wayside due to nothing else but political correctness?
Oh, I think a lot. I think a lot have. And I, like, I'll so let me, this might be if this is off topic, you wanna come back, let me know. Let me talk about hazing. I think hazing has value.
No, this is right
Okay.
up the alley.
I think hazing has value. I think
Well,
hazing's a powerful motivator and a
I'm gonna
powerful
stop you
training
right
tool.
there. I'm gonna stop you because I don't think I know 100%,
Yeah.
no doubt. Now you can continue, sorry.
Okay, no, no problem. What I think happened was though, you're supposed to haze someone until they accomplish the goal, right? Like so for example, um I'm trying to think. So I can't really think of an example because I wasn't prepared for this topic, but
How about you drop your rifle, you follow it.
yeah, okay, okay, yeah, drop your rifle and follow it with push-ups, right? Is perfect. Um no, no, that's not really one. I don't want to say no. That's not a good example for what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is when you exclude someone who isn't qualified until they're qualified, right?
Blood stripes.
Then once they're qualified, you have to include them. And I think you had some people who wanted to continue excluding because for whatever reason, it became personal.
Right,
And that's when you lose control and it no longer has value. Once someone completes the ritual, whatever it may be that they've agreed to, do or have become party to in the community or whatever, once that ritual is complete, they're in. There's no they're
right.
in. You stop. But I think we have people that don't do that. And we have some people that they get personal, and so what do you do, right? Instead of trying to implement ways to make sure that these um, teaching tools are still available, but in a fair, manner, or it's just easier to get rid of it all. So they just get rid of it all,
Right.
and you lose all that training value.
So it's a very stereotypical knee-jerk reaction instead of being proactive in a situation. But no, it definitely, and I bring up the drop your rifle follow up because that had very real world implications. You lose your rifle, you can lose your life.
Yeah.
So you do pain, like you said, pain's a wonderful motivator
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and it's a wonderful memory tool
Yeah.
because I don't want to do that shit again. That shit hurt.
Yeah.
Like we talked earlier pre-show, I when I was a young E3 in a infantry battalion, I don't remember what I said. It doesn't even matter, but I smarted off to a staff sergeant E6, and that son bitch slapped the shit out of me, and I deserved it.
Uh huh.
But it taught me again, hey, you know, I'm the HMFIC. I tell you to do something, you do it. You don't question it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and guarantee you, I took that lesson to heart.
Well, I look at the submarine community, and they're very tight. Very close knit. Everybody's very good at their job. They're just problems. Not a lot of problems come out of there. Generally speaking, right? I mean,
Shit.
they look out for each other. Um, but if you're a nub, you're a nub. Is my understanding.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you're no longer a nub, you're no longer a nub and life is great,
Yep.
Um, and you look at that and you see they have a high attrition rate, right? Not a lot of people stay in the community or make it into the community, right? Because of that type of philosophy. But on the other end, the quality you have is far superior to the chaff that couldn't maintain,
That's right.
and it's a family on there and you're underwater together for a very long time.
I can speak to that a little bit. Yeah, I did two boats, so it's crazy. It needs to be that way, and every member, there's a lot of times the corpsman can get away with a lot of shit, but on qualification board, you got to know your stuff, man, because everyone's responsible for fighting that submarine if there's some type of engineering casualty, whatever the case may be, and I tell you, I've been underway. I've had 2 fires in that cabin. That whole boat fills up 10 seconds, man. You can't see a damn thing, and you have to rely on those all the drills that you're constantly doing that when you're doing, you're like, "Man, this sucks. Why we keep doing this?" Well, when you have real fires underway, you find out real quick why you do them all the time. Because you don't think. There's no time to think. You gotta rely back on your training. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but anyway, it's pretty scary.
Yeah, and
But
they have a very tight community
I
and a
guess my
community that follows orders.
yeah, I guess my point with that story is that I don't have time if your feelings are hurt because I fucking shove you out of the way, or I call you, or hey, get the fuck out of the way, or pick that fucking thing up right there. I don't have time for you to tell me how that hurt your feelings,
Yeah, yeah.
because in another 30 seconds, all of us are going to be dead.
I was at the pad course and I sat next to a lieutenant
Oh boy,
and
you don't even need to say another word. But
we
anyway, go ahead.
yeah, he was a straight accession, right? Not a
Oh,
Mustang. And
oh boy.
he came from Bethesda and we were just talking about leadership and I was telling him how I used to curse at my strikers. And he said, "Yeah, that behavior has no place in a fixed brick and mortar facility." And I said, "That's funny because um when I was with the Marines, right, we couldn't do certain things because they said I was supposed to have learned that in the brick and mortar." That wasn't the time to learn it. And then I get back here now and you're telling me now's not the time to teach it. They'll get it with the Marines. There seems to be some type of disconnect here. And he was like, "I'm talking about your language." And I said, "I know what you're talking about. That's a training tool, my friend." I said, "Because I'll tell you what right now, when the shooting starts, I ain't saying pretty please." I said, "And I'd much rather have a junior corpsman here. Hey, what the fuck are you doing here now?" And
Right.
learn to stop, look at what he's doing and go, "Oh, yeah." And then fall back, regroup, and push forward to the next guy. And if I do it here, when he hears it there, he's just going to be like, "Oh, yeah, what am I doing?" Right? Instead of, "I can't believe he talked to me like that. No one's ever talked to me like that. Wait, everything stop."
Oh, then he takes her around to the head. Way to
Right?
go, Lieutenant. Tell that to
Right?
his fucking
But
parents, asshole.
he said no. He said no. And studies show you don't have to talk like that to prepare people for war, to induce stress, giving them techniques to deal with stress is just as effective.
So, are these studies done by the same assholes like you've never been anywhere and done anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where you can put them studies there, buddy.
In Great
Um,
Lakes. They studied it in Great Lakes. I talked to a buddy
shocking.
of mine when he said that and I said, "Is that true?" That they did a study in Great Lakes. He said, "Yeah, he was there." It was back around 2010 or 12. Navy retired Navy captain psychologist or psychiatrist did a 2-year study on recruits and found that if you don't hate you do not have to haze them or stress them, meaning wake them up to battle stations or anything to teach them how to deal with stress. All you have to do is give them stress reduction techniques. And what they found was that the people that they gave stress reduction techniques to versus the people who were stressed, more the people with the stress reduction technique stayed in the Navy longer. So they said, "That's it. That's how it's done. Um, we're doing that from now on. No cursing, no stressing."
No real world application whatsoever.
Nope. Nope. We're giving people
Anyway,
it's proven after 2 years, even though that guy's never trained recruits in his life.
right. What
Uh,
get back to Murdoch, you said it's turned weak.
yeah.
My last boat, we crossed the line and my CO refused a ceremony because he was next in line. He was getting ready to put on captain. He was a commander getting ready to put on
Yeah.
captain
Ah,
and didn't want anything. He came down to the mess, and
yes.
said exactly that much.
Yes.
I am not going to do anything to jeopardize me putting on '06
Yeah.
Cobb.
Yeah. So, you know what's so funny to piggyback your comment, we were talking earlier and through a friend of a friend, these Houthi hypersonic missiles are a problem, right? They're a
Yeah,
real problem. And I was talking to somebody and I said, "Listen, man, I've met a couple of captains worth their salt enough to admit to me behind the scenes 90% of those guys in the Navy are going out to sea with their fingers crossed, hiding in their cabins, going, please, nothing happen. Please,
yeah,
just
of course.
if we could avoid anything. Does that look like it? Does that look like an Iranian gunship? Go the other way.
Yes.
Does that look like something we'd have to interdict in? Go the other way. He said they're not out there what they're out there to do is float for 2 years and hope nothing happens
Yeah.
so that they can continue the promotion ladder and continue that. Because what he asked me that started the conversation was, he said, "What was the name of the ship that was hit?" And I said, "It was the Fitzgerald." And he said, "What was the result of that?" Their training was trash. Nobody was training. Nobody was drilling. Nobody was doing anything. And what they were doing was crap because that's what Seventh Fleet does. Or
Right.
that's what they used to do. They used to have their own training before the ship collisions. They could write their own standards because they're forward deployed.
Yep. Oh, how many times did you hear that? You just want to vomit.
Oh, I did. I almost got in a fight in the Chiefs Club over that.
That's right. That's a great. I don't. I don't know if you've ever told that story.
I was in the Chiefs. I'll tell you right now. I was in the Chiefs
Yeah.
Club, and some clown was shooting his mouth off about being in Japan for 17 years. And I looked him straight in the eye and said, "That's because you're a fucking war dodger. I had to go 4 times because of people like you." And he was like, "Fuck you. I'm forward deployed." I was like, "What? Where?" The tip. I mean, tip of what spear? I was like, "How many spears are in this fucking bag?" Because I thought the tip of the spear was in Iraq and Afghanistan. What you guys are doing out here is more down by the hilt. And he was getting mad. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
Don't be
sorry
sorry.
that that there are other people, and I've said it before to people, I'm sorry, someone has to go fight the war. We can't all sit offshore, 7 miles having ice cream socials on Thursday. I'm saying, I mean, believe me, bro, if we could switch that, my whole point of being angry is if I could switch places with your coward ass, I would.
Right. Right.
Yes, I'm just kidding, except for the coward part. I'm just saying, like, hey, I would gladly go out to sea and not have stayed 10 back-to-back years. I would have gladly done that.
Never mind. It's so. I wish I would have been there with you when you said that,
Ah,
dude. Actually, it's probably a good thing I wasn't, but God, I'd love to see the look on that dude's face
I
because
just
I would have been egging you on the whole
well, the
fucking
funny
time.
thing too is, I've probably been in Japan longer than his dumb ass, and
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people around there too. I were you? Oh man, I don't know if I told you I got there. So Japan was my very first and very last duty station.
Hmm,
So I was there in 1996, and I retired in 2017. So I knew all of those people from
right.
20 years ago, all the Japanese. They
Oh
don't
yeah,
go
they didn't
anywhere.
go anywhere. Yeah,
They don't go anywhere.
that's right.
Right? And I wasn't a bad guy. I'm a nice guy, so now some people don't like me, whatever, for whatever reason. But when I came back, I knew those people. I knew who the players were. They told me who to watch out for, where to be, what to do. I mean, so it's just
Well, let's face it. There's a lot of jealousy with that too.
there always, yeah. I mean, there always will be, but that was my very first and last news station, and so I was walking to a guy. There are people that like it's just crazy how Japan is, right? I run into this guy, another master of Japan, and I'm smoking a cigarette at the bowling alley, and we were talking about the bowling alley, and all I said was, "Yeah, this is where I learned how to paper score." because everywhere I was even in the 80s, man, they had computer scoring in a couple of places. I think in the early 80s it was paper scoring, but I was too little. Everyone just did it for me.
Right.
So I learned in
Yeah.
96 how to paper score. So
How to
this is
actually score it. Yeah.
yeah, this is 2014, 2015, and the guy's like, "No, you didn't." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No, you didn't, dude. Why? You don't have to lie, man." I'm like, "This has always been computer." But I said, "No, it hasn't." I said, "I was here in 96, bro. I'm telling you, I learned how to computer score right in there. I'm telling you. I was here when they remodeled it. They remodeled it in 98, 99." He's like, "Yeah, I was here, I was here, man. It was always been computer scoring. You're wrong." And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Okay." And then I was like, "Dude, I don't care. I don't even really care.
Right.
I don't like it's okay." And then like he gets mad. And then he goes inside and I'm like talking to a buddy. I'm like, "What a fucking idiot." And then he comes back out and apologizes because he talked to the manager and there was paper scoring in 96. I was like, "Well, buddy,
Well, at
that's
least he
not
was.
my style of humor, man. Hey, Andy, two guys did paper scoring in 96. Like, why would I make that up?"
Well, at least he was man enough to come back and apologize.
Yeah, he was. I mean, and that's an excellent point, man. But I just thought, like, why would you fight someone to begin with? Like,
Right. It's
that's not
silly.
really. Yeah, that's not gonna get me pussy.
Right.
Like, I'm not cock blocking you by saying I learned paper scoring here.
you,
like
you
I don't
know,
understand.
it's funny because I bring up the whole jealousy thing because there are a lot of people that are just jealous of that, man. That you've got that. Instead, I through our talkings and shit, I found out that you were fucking Mr. Japan. What do? Hey, let's go fucking hang out. Show me.
No, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, right.
let's utilize that knowledge. Shit,
Yeah,
instead of
I
being
try not to
jealous.
be. My wife makes fun of me for that. Now I'll tell you this story. I've told you, Andy, before, I think, but I don't think I've told the people here. But I was in a horrible accident in Iwakuni, horrible, and it's a very long story, and you can't really shorten it.
It's one of
So
them stories that you're like, you've got to be making that up.
yeah, it's just like one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. So in the end, I end up getting a Navy Achievement Medal. And in the Navy Achievement Medal, it says, "Due to my advanced knowledge of Japanese language, I was able to facilitate care," right? Is part of the citation. So my wife is there.
Oh
And she
God.
hears that.
Oh boy. I already know where this is going.
And for 2 fucking years, all I heard from her whenever I said, like, "Hey, what's going on over there?" She'd be like, "I don't know, Mr. Japan. Don't you have an award from the colonel? Don't you have advanced Japanese knowledge?" What does it say? For 2 years, I thought you have a don't you like sometimes like her accent. Don't you have a award? Don't you know? You mean you don't know
so
what it says? You have advanced knowledge.
so for those of you that don't know his wife, I'm telling you that is spot on. He's not exaggerating, making anything up. That's her,
Oh
man.
man,
And that's
yeah.
why it's so funny to me because I'm just picturing her just
Oh yeah.
giving you loads and loads of shit.
Oh man, it would be like this. Like texting. It'd be like, "Hey, what's that over there? Don't you know? Don't you have advanced award?"
And let me guess, Carl wrote that award for you.
No, he was against it. I wrote it myself and sent it through the Marines and got it approved by Gunny Green.
Really?
Oh yeah, he tried to stop it. That was one of the ones. That's one of the other reasons he's pissed off at me
Oh, why?
because he.
That's for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, yeah. Anyway,
you know,
yeah,
but
yeah. That's crazy, crazy Carl.
but he's a part of the story and a funny part.
Yeah, yeah.
He hey, as much as we talk shit,
Ah,
I highly
oh,
doubt he's listening. As much as we talk yang on Carl, Carl is a brilliant man.
he's a
No one
genius.
can deny that, and he knows what he is doing,
Now
and
I
no one can
remember.
deny that.
Now I remember.
He just gets a little overzealous. That's all.
Now I remember that part of the story. Yeah. And okay, I can understand now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
He's a
see.
good
I
dude.
see what's
Yeah,
going on.
whatever. He was a good dude.
So
I don't want to have
it's so
bad blood
weird, man,
myself in him.
because the Carl that you know is not the Carl that I knew.
Yeah,
That's the weird thing, because I
yeah,
I knew him back when he was an E5, and he
yeah.
was
You had
just
the picture.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's just as brilliant then, you know.
yeah.
Um, but I Anyway, love Carl to death. I don't know what happened. I just wish you peace, brother. That's all I wish. If
Eh,
this finds you, hope I wish you happiness, man. That's all.
come come to the Wounded Warrior Umpire Academy.
Oh God.
Umpire some baseball, man.
Oh
Get
my
some of that
God.
stress off. Fight with some of the parents.
That oh Jesus, no, that'd probably kill him. He'd have a heart attack right
Get the
there.
spittle going in the side of his mouth. Anyway. Yeah,
Oh, crazy
it was
Carl.
funny, dude. Ah.
Wow. Man, there was what were we talking about? Now all I can think about is Crazy Carl. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
him.
yeah. No. I was talking about Iwakuni and the award for advanced Japanese
Oh,
because
yeah, yeah, yeah,
we
yeah,
were talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
guys that like master of Japan, right?
Right, right,
That's why I said I was talking to another guy who was master of because my wife is always like, "Oh, were you telling people you're master of Japan?" Before, you know, she'll always so that was a long way of saying my wife teases me, and so I use that to talk about that other guy. Like I get sick of when I hear master of Japan people, but
right.
yeah, there are guys that stay there their whole career. And look, I'm not saying anything about those like those ship collisions. I've made my comments in the past on those. They are what they are. I mean, things happen. Tragic events occur, whether they're from negligence or lack of training or just a lemony snicket series of unfortunate events. It's always tragic when people lose their life. Um,
Absolutely.
and the sad thing is, I think, and what irritates a lot of us is that we saw the warning signs and tried to blow whistles here and there.
Nobody
Um,
listened.
yeah, and and I think it goes back to when we came in. The Vietnam vets used to call it the machine, right? Like you've
Yep.
seen the machine. I've seen the machine. You've never seen the machine. And then that kind of went away. That verbiage.
Right.
Um, but I think that's the best way to describe it. I think, and if you want to take it in a grander scale, the federal government as a whole, it's incapable of caring for you. It's a machine. It's too big. It moves. It doesn't know you. It knows your number and there's data assigned to that number, but it doesn't know Andy.
Right. If you want to go conspiracy route, you could say it's the military industrial complex. It is the machine.
Yeah, I mean, however we want to hatch it, the point is it's just too big to care for you.
Yeah.
So to come full circle and come all the way back to politics that we never started on, but I'm going to call it full circle.
Fair enough.
But I can't understand how people feel like more government is helpful. It's just really, really hard, to
Yep.
comprehend.
I don't get it either, man. But I had a brilliant point. Keyword had. It's gone. I don't know where it went.
It'll come back.
Completely forgot. But yeah, it was a good one too, man. Of course it was.
Well, I just think like you had Kamala Harris release her economic plan of price controls. That's horrible. That's
Oh,
terrible.
a comrade. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Comrade Harris. Yeah,
Well, I'm
Comrade
sorry.
Harris.
Yeah, I didn't catch that at first. Sorry.
Yeah, price controls are terrible because and here's the interesting thing, people talk about but price gouging by the grocery stores and stuff. And they were just out there with the report like the grocery store industry is reporting an average 1.9% profit margin across the nation.
Right. Yeah, they're
Not
gouging.
even
All right.
Not even 2%. Yeah, right. Like the guy who pointed that out was like, "Man, these are the worst price counters ever. They suck at this." Like with a 1.9
Well, you guys
profit
suck.
margin. But then they were like, "Hey, man, you want to go after people gouging?" They were like, "Apple's got 29% profit, Microsoft 35%, Nvidia 55%.
Right.
Could be some gouging there, but they're not on the
Mm,
list.
right. Of
Go
course.
figure, right? Instead, 1.9% grocery profit.
It's unbelievable, man. Yeah. Boy, they could find a turd, they have a turd right there in their hand, and they'll find a way to make that into the most marvelous gold bar you've ever seen. And in
Yeah,
reality, it's a fucking turd.
yeah.
It's unbelievable. You can't tell me that the media is not bought and paid for.
It's so
What's up,
funny, man.
Daryl?
Yeah, what's up there? It's so funny, man. They were talking about the other day, how Rush Limbaugh used to do it, been doing it for years, right? And then now other hosts have kind of picked up on it. where he would say the media memo went out and he'd play the montage of
Yeah.
like everyone at 8 a.m., what they would
Yeah.
say at 8 a.m., in that first 5 minutes, like how are they all using the same language within the first 5 minutes, right? So obviously some memo went out. Um, but so many people since he exposed that have been in and out of the industry, right? What when they're asking like people in the know now, who's getting these memos, like where these memos come, they're like, we don't know where they're coming from, but what we know is there is some coordination. We're not sure how it's being done because there's a lot of helpful idiots. Like there's a lot of people who pick up language and think that's the message and start repeating it. And they said, and in some cases that has offset the message, what they found in their investigation. These helpful idiots have actually, picked up on the wrong word, wrong cue
Because
because
they're idiots.
they were too fast. They weren't one of the part of the coordinated, right?
Mhm.
These local TV stations that's, what Rush Limbaugh used to also call occasional journalism.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think there was a memo per se because that'd be too easy to
Yeah.
run it back to somebody. But they're clearly the word is getting out.
Yeah. Weird. Use weird.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how. I mean, it was somebody eventually. What do they call that? Blow the whistle, so to speak. Maybe one of them combat tuba players.
Well, there was an interesting uh development like over the last 2 weeks. They've got a Zoom call. Did we talk about this? The Zoom call with the
No,
Kamala Harris's campaign chief and
I don't believe we did.
okay, Kamala Harris's campaign chief, who was just a staffer back when the video was made, right? I think it's 2020 or it's not 2016. They might be talking about 2016. Let me just correct my dates, right?
Hey, Ray, he's right. Talking
Yeah,
points
of
for the
course he's
day.
right. Yeah. So they were talking about
He's got to
anyway, it's a
be
Zoom
careful
call with
what
the
he
campaign.
says.
Zoom call with the campaign. They're talking about data points on social media and how they have a program that they've put out to Facebook, Twitter at the time, and other social media um, outlets to run. The DNC put this program into these social media companies. And
Hmm.
what it did was it collected all your data of every click you made on a conservative news article. So every time you clicked an article, what the article was about, no, they targeted certain phrases, right? Certain stories and certain phrases were targeted. He lists them. One of them, I forget which one he lists. He's like, this isn't fake news, but we don't like the narrative. Like he says straight up. Like, so we're targeting this story as well. And so what they're doing is collecting every time you click on like Hunter Biden's laptop was one of them. Every time you clicked on a Hunter Biden laptop link
Night
and
Billy.
read the story, it looked at what you were reading, how long you were there, and what angle the story was from, and then it just bombarded you specifically with bots and all kinds of shit in your timeline for the narrative of Hunter Biden's laptop. So, for example, if you said it's not Russian disinformation, they bombarded your timeline with bots so that you would feel alone, like the only person who thinks that. No one else on social media thinks Hunter Biden's laptop is Russian disinformation. You're alone, and that's what they would do. And he says on the call, he thinks that swung 280,000 votes Biden's way. So it was 2016. They were talking about 2016. So he thinks they swung 280,000 votes, and the point of the story was with the video is if that was 2016, what do you think that algorithm's doing now?
That's right. Yeah, maybe we did mention that. I don't remember. Ray, I'm glad you didn't fall off your chair, man. I don't need you breaking shit. Yeah,
Right?
stay on that chair, fella.
Yeah, don't fall.
That's funny.
We're both we're we we're both retired, and you know what? I wasn't any good when I was in anyway either. So, no medical no good medical treatment coming
Well,
your way. I
even
was horrible
worse,
when I was in anyway. No.
he's in the land of Canada.
Oh man, yeah, Canada.
Canada. That's what I call it. You gotta be careful up there. In fact, he can't say much right now.
Nobody can. Not in Canada. Can't say nothing. Gonna get snatched up.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they're gonna force you to they're gonna sentence you to box with Iman Khalif, the female gold medalist.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
They're gonna put you in the gonna put you in the ring with Iman
Well
Khalif.
to be fair, I'll take my chances.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'll double leg the shit out of that dude. They are, aren't they? You
Yeah.
know, people laugh at me because Ray, I'll tell you what, part of my natural pattern of speech, and Andy will tell you, man, it gets annoying, right? But I'm always like, listen, between me, you, and the NSA agent listening, here's what's going on, right? Like,
Oh, speaking of your paranoia, guess what I bought?
what'd you get?
You know that little RF,
Yeah.
what do you do that you had?
Yes.
I went and I bought one.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I got
Whatever.
it.
Man, I checked my house. I found
Yeah.
where the Wi-Fi is pushing in my house and the radiation and everything.
Yeah, I did in my office, but,
Like kind of highest points and stuff.
yeah.
But and to get used to it, I need to figure out how to use it on an IR light though to find the camera. So I might just mess with one of these days.
Well, I think you're supposed to have the lights off, I think, from what I
Right,
read.
right. And like be searching the edge of the TV or something, and it picks it
Right.
up, or I don't know. I don't
Anything,
know.
Yeah, outlets,
Yep.
you got the wireless ones now, man,
Yeah,
no, my mama won't let me waste the tinfoil.
I know, man.
She's, keep that shit for bacon and stuff, whatever. I'm not allowed to have it. Just like, it's like my penis, I'm not allowed to have that either, it's in her purse.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if I'm going somewhere, hell no. Anyway, come
Oh
on,
man.
give it up, put it in the purse.
Oh, dude.
The sad part is it's one of them little pocket one little pocket purse, it's not even a big purse. Not a proud man.
Dude, I'll tell you, it's been a great. I mean, it has been an interesting couple of weeks. I know we've been saying it the last couple of weeks, but I mean, we have truly been living through history, man.
Oh, for sure, man. Sure.
These people are insane. They
I swear, I told you this before, but man, I feel like we're living in an alternate reality or something, man. I don't know what's going on. Up is down, down is up, and what the
Harris is on the campaign trail. I'm gonna do this, and this, right? Opposite of the administration she's a part of.
right?
Did you see Ducey ask KJP? Hey, is this the is it, what's up here? She's running against you guys. Like, was that true? Is that for real? Right? And she's like, oh no, this is Biden Harris administration. This is the Biden. She roped her right back in. Oh no, we do it all together. Oh no, everything that's going on in this country has her stamp too.
But at this,
KJP hates her, right?
yeah,
Like she
but
used to work for her.
at the same time, she just admitted to everything. Okay, yeah. Oh, so she was the czar. She is the czar. She's the
Oh,
murder
I mean,
czar.
Biden Harris administration. She
Oh
kept
my
saying,
god,
"Man, roped her right back in." No, she's not getting away from us
I don't
because
know
Biden's
how.
still. They say Biden's still bitter, man. He's still mad at Pelosi. Thinks she's an amoral, whatever. Mad
Well,
at
yes,
Schumer for his role. Angry at Obama. Apparently, now the story is coming out that Obama didn't even have the balls to call him himself. He did it through all the other people. Like he had other people do it. And
wow.
so he didn't even talk to him himself. And I guess Biden's real angry about Obama not having the nerve to call him himself using surrogates. And so that's why he's out there sabotaging Kamala. No, we're together.
So
Oh no.
was it he didn't have the balls, or he's like, you're so beneath me at this point?
Well, I think he's done that several times because they were talking about when I was listening to them talk about it, they were saying he's done it other times with other people. Like that's his like MO. Like he never does anything directly. Like he always has like Axelrod and those guys come out, you know.
Yeah, I believe that.
So
Uh,
I guess they had pollsters or something over there, or
oh,
Joe Biden even said on the interview, if you listen to the interview, he was like, "My team thought we could win, their team didn't," and it came down to, do you want to fight for the president and against your own party and be? And he said, and they said we can win, but you'll be alone.
yeah.
So they kicked him out. He admits they kicked me out. I mean, he's saying
Well,
they kicked
listen,
me out.
man, and anyone that's ever dealt with anyone with going through dementia or Alzheimer's, whatever the case may be, um, that these people still have their moments of clarity and
Yes.
lucidity.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I don't doubt for a second he's I mean, they understand what's going on. They're just
Yes.
kinda trapped in their own mind.
Yeah, and here's what kills me though is, I mean, Harris hid that from you.
Oh, yeah.
She knew. They
You
all
know,
knew.
she could, you know what?
Brian Stelter knew, or not Brian Stelter, who does, Chuck Todd? Chuck
They
Todd,
they all
Mr.
knew.
Yeah, Chuck Todd said he was told back in 2020.
Yeah,
Chuck Todd.
they all know, man.
Yeah, and he's acting like the wool was pulled over his eyes.
"What's up, Bellino?" Um, no, she could. She's she's too vain to pull this off, but she could technically get away and say, "Listen, I'm sorry, I'm so incompetent, I had no idea." You
Yeah.
know? And you know what? I believe you.
Z
I
z
believe that easy because you are incompetent.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting when the honeymoon ends and, like, they get her out there asking questions and talking about her
Oh,
plan. I know that's,
she's not
I know
going
she
to.
hasn't been out the last couple of months, but I'm pretty sure, what's going on is, they're getting her prepped, man, because, she never had to talk about this stuff in detail.
She
And,
so
you can only control the narrative so much, right?
I agree they're prepping her, but they're prepping her for the debate. She's
Yeah.
not gonna have their plan is to not have
Yeah,
any
I wouldn't either.
controversy.
I wouldn't either. You have a
Yeah,
fawning media, there's
yeah.
no reason to go out there.
No.
They'll carry your water all fucking day long.
Yep.
There's no reason to go. I wouldn't either. I mean, if you had the media in the tank for you, I mean, that's a smart play. Stay out, prep for the debate,
100%.
and I'll call it right here, and it may be an unpopular opinion. I think Trump will lose because the bar is so low. The bar is so low. All she has to do is just be awake and smile. And all she has to do is wait for him to interrupt her one time to give her famous, "Excuse me, I'm talking," right? She loves that.
Mhm.
And, I think that that will make him look like a bully to the independents, that the media will clip that, and that
Yep.
that will play relentlessly for the next several days, which is why I hope he gets the commit of 2 debates, which I think they have. I think they're gonna have another one. But
Yep.
I think the first one, unless he just lets her talk
Well,
and
she's
lets her seem like a bully, right? Lets her run over him.
you're gonna have to, right?
I I
That's a great strategy if you think about it. I
That's
just
what I
gotta
would
sit back.
do. I would try to answer and let her go off, and I would just bring up points. I wouldn't say anything nasty about her. I wouldn't say anything about her heritage. I wouldn't say if she brought it up, I'd be like, we can do another debate on personal issues. This one's about policy.
Right.
I'll agree to a fourth debate on personal attacks.
And I'm gonna win that one.
Yeah, I'll agree to I'll do a fourth debate and we can just talk about personal attacks, but this one's on policy.
Don't make me get the wig out.
Yeah, or she said, "Do you believe whatever?" I'd be like, I don't know.
See, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah, I'd be
doesn't
like, "I don't even know."
matter what she's gonna get up there and she's gonna make an idiot of herself. And everything she says, it's gonna be the Happy Gilmore, right? You remember Happy Gilmore at the end when they're up and the principal's up there, Kamala Harris. At no time during your rambling, incoherent response were
That's
you
not Happy
anywhere
Gilmore.
or, Billy Madison, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
"Fuck
Billy
Happy
Madison.
Gilmore."
Uh,
Yeah.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. It
Oh,
could
yeah.
be that bad. It doesn't matter because the media is gonna spin it into
Yeah,
it
they're
was
gonna
the
kiss her ass,
greatest
man.
event ever.
And
What
if he even looks at her nasty in a mean direction, he's gonna be, the biggest chauvinist, convicted rapist, felon, right? Whatever. And and you're like, "Ah."
Ray said with or without knee pads.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think the momentum's real though. I don't. I'll be honest with you 100%. I don't believe the momentum because when you do the drill down into like if you look at a lot of the polls when you go down to the issues, Trump does lead in the issues. The people that I'm watching that seem to there's a guy who breaks down the polls a lot going like year by year looking at him stuff, and Emerson College seems to be the most accurate over the last 20 years.
Mhm.
Rasmussen seems to tilt Trump to help balance out the anti-Trump polling. But Emerson seems to seems to be polling, like not like biasing questions, like just asking straight up. Like
I don't pay attention to any of it because you can skew a poll any which way you want to.
that's why Emerson's been the most accurate. They have not been skewing. They've just been asking, like,
And
who are you voting for?
at the end of the day, what we have to remember is that it's the electoral college's vote that matters.
True. True.
At the end of the
Some
day,
states have laws that require them to vote along the popular line. Many do not.
right?
Many
So
do not.
that's what really matters. And
The popular vote does not matter in a presidential election.
it's a crapshoot. It really is at this point. I don't care. I mean, you have to you just have to be living in such a different universe to not understand what's going on in the world, that the economy is not growing, inflation is not slowing down. It's the worst that it's ever, well, I won't say that it's ever been, but it's approaching rapidly Carter administration days. Um, we don't have, well, they say a country without borders isn't a country. We're no longer a country anymore.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
see the video? There's a video of a young, well, she's not that young. I'd say she's probably in her 40s. She's a black lady that she's a veteran, and she's just basically just so frustrated that she comes to tears because, she worked so hard to get a business, and then the guy that she's selling her food truck to is an admitted illegal alien, but the government's giving him money to pay for her truck.
Oh,
And
no doubt.
when
No doubt.
she was trying to get a business loan, she was denied. She ended up paying cash for her truck that she worked very hard and saved for, but they're just giving all of our money away to these illegals. And let's face it, you can call them undocumented all you want, but they're here illegally, period.
Yeah.
And both of our wives had to go through the process.
So you know
So,
what's yeah, yeah. You know what's interesting? This was just pointed out by somebody I heard interviewed a couple of days ago. It's all over the world that in 2022, I think it's either 2020 or 2022. Um, fuck it, look in 2021 too. Why not? Right? But 2020 or 2022, there were several bills in England, Germany, France, and the U.S. that were even titled the same, dealing with immigration.
yeah,
They even had the same title.
yeah.
Now, since they were caught, they're changing titles, but it's the same exact provisions. And then they also sort of looked at the language, right? And they're like, every Western country is using the same language, passing the same laws, creating the same chaos.
Yeah.
Migrant crime, ignoring migrant crime, and then criminalizing the citizens who stand up.
Well, look at the
And
UK right now.
well, so interestingly about the UK, there's three sides to that issue. There's a side that got mad about the British-born Somali who stabbed three girls, and they blamed migrants, but he's British-born. And then you had the crackdown, right, saying that these guys are all right wing. There's no problem here. He's a British citizen. This is British crime. And so they've arrested thousands, right? Like over 1,000 people, I think. And
Hmm.
they've already started sentencing the protesters. But the third side is, hey, wait a minute, man. It's so out of control here that we can't even tell.
Right,
You know what I mean? And you're not doing anything and you're not helping, you know?
right.
And so they're creating this scenario everywhere. Look what happened to us in 9/11, right? Sikhs were getting the crap kicked out of them. They had nothing to do with it. The
Well,
Sikhs, right? Because
well,
people
let's
couldn't tell the difference.
right. It goes back so far. Remember Bush Senior
Yes.
in his speeches talked about a new world order. New world order. That's what's going on, man.
We're all passing, so similar laws are being passed in all Western countries. It's the same chaos. It's the same government response across Germany, France. They're all doing the same thing.
Yep.
They're all doing the same thing, right? Criminalizing the citizens, ignoring the migrants. creating the chaos so that we beg for more and more government. We need more and more government. We need more. We need save us.
Right. That's
But
right. When you when you sacrifice safety for freedom,
yeah.
you don't really have anybody. You don't have anybody to blame but yourself, really.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? The sad thing is we're okay. Like I'm okay. Like it's not I mean, you're over 50, I'm almost 50. I'm on the backside of my mountain, man.
Right.
I'm a survivor. I don't require much. There's more behind me than in front. So you can piss this thing away. It's not going to really affect me. I have enough shit to sell to survive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I was taught by my parents, and I tried to teach my children. They didn't want it, so that's on them. But I was taught by my parents how to fish. I was taught how to do things. So I'm just saying, like, like I tell my son all the time. I mean, you should be paying attention more than me.
Right.
You're 27, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. And the government's afraid to cut me off. I'll be one of the last people to get cut off.
Right.
Like the military vets that are getting pensions and stuff. We're the last ones to get cut off because they taught us how to kill, and they know that.
Right.
They know that they're not going to cut us off en masse. We'll be the last ones.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I'm just so I'm okay, and I'm just saying to these other people, man, you better start paying attention because you're pissing away your future. I shouldn't care more about your future than you, but
That's
it damn well seems like it.
it sure does, doesn't it?
Yeah,
But it's just been um it's been an incredible, insidious process, man. This whole pussification, saying it's that's one way to describe it, but no, it's going in. And the Soviets knew this, man. The Soviets knew this in the 60s that
yeah,
they're never going to defeat us militarily,
right.
but they
Defeat you
can
from
go
within.
in and corrupt us from inside and start teaching the communist doctrine under the guise of what do they call it? Progressivism.
I tell you, man, if you haven't read an Austrian perspective on the history of economic theory, you're missing out. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go through it again. I'm
I
gonna go
just
through it again.
I'm thinking of Aya, you
Yeah,
know. But hey,
she hates that book. I listened to the guitar. She says she
wow. We've had some really amazing conversation, and I almost don't want it to stop. But I don't ever want us to neglect our only segment that we really care about on the show, and that is our veterans helping veterans segment.
It's
Um,
true.
so this this week, I'm going to I'm bringing up yet another service dog um, organization, only because um, well, there's others. I forgot to tell you that story. I'll tell it to you offline. But anyway,
Yeah,
this week is canine canines for warriors, and they're based out of Florida, Ponte Verde, Florida. I believe is the city they're in, and it's a wonderful nonprofit organization. Um, Feel free to check out their website. Support them if you can. It's a unique program. As a matter of fact, Rick Schilling, that's where he got his dog from. Um, and the program is once you're accepted in the program, you go to their place. You're there for 3 weeks, right? All 3 weeks you're working with the dog, and it's kind of like going to prison in a way. I mean, you're on lockdown, but it's for really good reason. It's to make sure you get the right dog to bond with you. That keep in mind, again, these aren't pets. These are tools to help you survive, essentially. So check them out. Canines for Warriors, great organization. Support if you can. And that's all I got. Buzzing.
nice, nice. I've been thinking about a
Buzz.
service dog, but the truth is, I don't have time. That thing would shit itself. I don't have a yard. I don't have anything. I'm just not set up right now for any of that. But yeah, I love those charities, and it's they really do a lot of good for people.
I,
The service
I would,
peacock, not sure about.
did I tell you what happened when I went last week? You got a few minutes? I know you do your thing after the show, and we're at like 59 minutes, but you know what? I'll save it for afterwards.
I'm listening.
Okay. Well, I didn't hear, man. I'm whatever. Anyway, so I went to this place, right? I am going to put it out there. Missouri Paws, PAWS. I forget what it stands for, but anyway, I applied and they said, yeah, we'll accept you in the program. But they're probably about 3, 4 hours south, probably southwest of me. So they said, there's a place close to you. Go check them out. So I went and they had several dogs there and everything was going well. They had a couple Malinois. Oddly enough, I bonded with a shepherd,
Uh-huh.
a German shepherd. But then they're like, well, Missouri Paws pays for the dog training. We're going to need you to fundraise to pay for the dog. I'm like, all right, well, how much are we talking here? $15,000. I'm like, yeah, that ain't happening. That's
Yeah,
that's
fundraise.
that's not a nonprofit, nothing. That's me doing your job for you, and shame on you for, you know, getting out there and saying you support veterans when you're making them do the work.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm applying to the Canines for Warriors. Now, Alma, she she's 12 now. You know, she's losing her eyesight, she's losing her
Let her be
hearing,
a dog, yeah.
yep, she's slowing down. Um, but hey, what's up, man?
Should
Uh,
come with some land.
right? Yeah,
Some
it's
cows or something.
from the Fasalan, yeah.
Some type of
Uh,
dowry.
right. So that's the great thing about Canines for Warriors. Everything 100%, right?
Yeah.
While you're there, they put you up. You're not paying for lodging. They pay for your meals. Anything you need while you're there, they pay for. And the dog is 100% given to you. Now, of course, there's stipulations just with everything. I think you have to go back at the year mark, at the 3, 5, whatever it is. I don't know yet, but seems pretty fair to me.
Yeah.
These dogs, they're raised. They're probably 30 to $40,000 dogs just because of the breed. Then on top of it, it's another 30 to 40, sometimes even more than that, to train them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
No, I agree.
I'm very thankful for whatever, you know what I'm saying? But
No, I hear you, man. Yep.
but I'll be
I hear you.
damned if I'm going to fundraise.
Yeah, no. No, I'm not fundraising.
Yeah. Anyway, Lou, as always, I'll give you the last word, sir.
I just thought of a fundraiser, smashing the Paws CEO car for $100 a piece.
Well, no, well, hold on. It wasn't them. It wasn't Missouri Paws,
No, I
right?
know, but I'm just saying, like, or whoever that shelter is, right?
Right.
Like, where's your
I forget
car? $100 bat, $100 a bat swing.
I forget the name
We'll
of it,
start right there.
and I'm not holding it back because I'm whatever. I
No, it's good, man. I
legit
know.
forgot the name of it, but
Well,
anyway.
hey, everybody, if you like what you hear, comments, click like down below. Give us a 5-star review. I guess it helps. I don't know. We've never got one. Keep the 1 stars to yourself. I hate you too.
That's right. You don't like it, don't watch.
No, hey, we like I said, may or may not have something next week. Just to keep your ears open, eyes out. Get a little start to get a little more active on Twitter as well. I picked that up again a couple days ago.
Right on.
So just keep an eye out. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
You're listening to Nothing's Off the Table with Andy and Lou, an Admiral Media production podcast. All information at the time of recording is mostly accurate. Comment below. Give